For this assignment, I chose to use a paper over the evaluation of gait-related variables in lean and obese dogs at a trot. The picture I have at the top gives an idea of the size of dogs they used in this experiment. This paper shows 16 adult dogs with either a body condition score of 8 or 9 or a body condition score of 4 or 5. The dogs also needed to be of relative size to each other. For this study, they chose dogs between the ages of 18 months and 60 months of age. Owners also had to be sure to provide proof of rabies vaccination before testing could be performed. For this slide, I have provided a picture of a typical body condition score table from 1 to 9 so you can see the differences in the dogs and see how yours might fit into this table. Before the testing could begin, the dogs had to be allowed a 5-minute acclimation period to be able to walk around the room and get used to their surroundings. During this time, their body mass, length, height, and girth were recorded. Markers were also placed on the external occipital, the dorsal spinous process, the right forelimb, the cranial dorsal aspect of the iliac spine, and the right hind limb. During the test, they studied them at the swing phase and the stance phase at a slow and fast trot from 1.8 meters per second to 2.5 meters per second. After the test, the results showed that the forelimb and the hind limb stride lengths at both the swing and stance phase were 8% shorter in obese dogs. Results also show that obese dogs have a greater range of motion in both of the phases. Shoulder joint flexion was smaller in obese dogs but larger in the elbow, hip, and tarsal joint extensions. The graphs here show the different mean joint angles of the stride for the hip, shoulder, stifle, elbow, tarsus, and carpus. The black lines represent the lean dogs, while the gray line represents the obese dogs. So you can take a look here and see the difference between the lean and obese dogs at the different times. The hypotheses that were accepted are that the peak vertical ground reacting force would be greater in obese dogs compared to that in lean dogs. Obese dogs would have shorter strides than in lean dogs. Obesity also influenced gait-related variables in dogs. The hypothesis that was rejected was that obese dogs would ambulate with smaller range of motion. But the results of this study show that obese dogs trotted with greater range of motion in the shoulder, hip, elbow, and tarsal joints.